Welcome to the No Cat Sports Show podcast where sports and combos collide. I'm your host, the Cobra.
And I'm your host, Coach Milton.
What up, Coach Milton? How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing beautiful, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. It's another Wednesday, man. No Cat Sports Show podcast day, man, and we got a special guest out in the dugout right now that we're gonna introduce in a few minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited to talk to him.
Yeah. And to our no cap viewers and listeners, I apologize for the delayed start. That's on me. I had some technology issues, but hey, we back. Hey, that's why I said no cap, no editing, no nothing. Shit happens on this show. You know what I'm saying? You don't never know what you're gonna get.
Got to
So
roll with the punches. Got to roll with the punches.
just roll with it, man. But they know what it is. It's all love.
Indeed.
Yeah. Look, you ready for the NBA finals?
Hey, man, I'm excited about it. I'm intrigued. Yeah, I think it's going to be. You got some people saying that they don't want to watch it, but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be better than what people anticipate.
Yeah,
Definitely looking
yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah, I like the styles of both teams. I think
Hmm.
it's going to make a exciting series.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean I don't know if the series going to go to 7 or nothing like that, but I think each game at least going to have be action packed at the very least.
I hope so. I
Yeah,
hope so. I think everybody's starting to kind of come into their own at the right time, and I think both teams have something to prove. So if nothing else, they're gonna be playing on for pride, and it'll be the first time for either one of them. So it definitely should be, a good run. So
for sure, for sure. Well, man, let's get into this show, Coach Milton. Man, we got my dog in the back waiting to come on, man. He's a standout superstar athlete out of the state of Louisiana. Um, Went to Oklahoma State University and did his thing on that gridiron at wide receiver. He was the best receiver on the squad. He did his thing so much that our hometown team, the Washington, back then it was the Washington Redskins, but now our Commanders, had to make that call and draft my man. Um,
indeed,
Look, man, yeah, hell of an athlete, hell of a legendary career, man. And I know this man personally, and I think he's a hell of a person. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let me introduce our guy, Ethan Howell, to the show.
What's up, baby? What's up,
What up,
baby?
E?
welcome,
What's
E.
up?
What's up with it, King Cobra and my man, Coach Milt? Salute in the
Yes,
Salute,
sir.
building.
salute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Finally got you on this thing.
Oh man, y'all done had me on ice for like 6 months. Oh, hey man, I'm just happy to be here, man. You
Hey,
feel me?
had him in timeout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I
Hey,
tell you one thing, you definitely got some fans because I know I've been getting hit in my inbox was like people can't wait to see this show and hear your story. So you know what I mean. So we gonna get into it. You about to say something, Coach Milton?
yeah, man. Before we get started, man, I want to say congratulations to both of you gentlemen, man, for your recent graduation of your daughters, and then a happy belated birthday to your daughter, Ethan, man. We all girl dads, man.
Yes,
So I know
sir.
you
Yeah,
proud papas, man. So again,
Yes, sir.
congratulations to you
yeah,
both, man.
yes,
Appreciate
sir.
appreciate that, and congratulations to your daughter too, Cole.
Yeah, congratulations to yours too, E. When your
So,
daughter birthday?
man, it was yesterday, man, June
Okay.
3rd.
So
Yeah.
mine is on Monday, June 9th. My daughter's birthday, June 9th.
And my
Oh
daughter's
man,
on the 15th.
Yeah,
oh wow. Are they all Geminis?
Indeed.
yeah.
Oh man, they hell, man. Golly.
Hey, tell me about it. But you gotta love them.
Baby girl. Baby girl.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, ain't nothing
So,
like it, man. Ain't
so
nothing
this,
No
like it.
this
man, no man. I seriously, man, I couldn't ask for a better daughter, man. She love her dad. I love her, man, and I'll do anything for her, man. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah. Yeah, so this not just a special show because we got a special guest. We also celebrating around the horn. So I hope y'all got yours because I got mine.
I'm on this water right now, Carl. Look, it was a hot one today. I coach a youth summer track team down here in Louisiana. We run AAU and USA track and field. So I had to run home, freshen up, throw on another tee, grab me some water. Then I got to drive to Dallas tonight to catch a flight in the morning. So hey, I'm on the water right now. I can't
Yeah, yeah,
indulge. But look,
yeah,
I'm flying to AZ in the morning. And so,
He
yeah,
trying to get by the pool. He trying
hey,
to get
yeah,
by the
so
pool.
I got to hydro up right now, man.
yeah, buddy. Yeah, you ain't gonna do a 72, are you out there?
I'm actually gonna do like a 96.
God,
Wow. So
good
you
God.
going out with the Sprite can in your hand.
Hey, look, Thursday to Monday.
Goodness,
Because
goodness
I
gracious.
don't want to miss the Sunday fun. I got my old voice on right now. I don't want to miss the Sunday fun day.
Facts,
Yes, sir.
100.
Yeah,
That's
man.
gonna be wild.
Yeah. So yeah, let's jump into this thing. So E, we like to always start from the very beginning, bro. Like we all know what type of tremendous athlete you ultimately became, but when did it start? When did you know that you was a special athlete and was football your first sport? And was there that someone who was inspiration for you?
Man, it started from the ground up, man. I'm talking about from knee high, man. Um, 4 and 5 years old, man. So, um, just a quick little rundown. My dad played in NFL 7 years. Dallas Howell graduated from Grambling State. That's back in the day when Grambling used to run the nation as far as all those guys going to the league every year, man. I'm talking about Hall of Famers, Buck Buchanan, and uh, the Willie Davises, and I mean, man, the list goes on and on. But he went to Grambling along with his two other brothers, my Uncle Mike and Uncle Lane, and they are actually the first black trio brothers to ever play in the NFL at the same time
That's
Wow.
dope.
back in the 70s. And
Wow.
and that's in the books. So started off, man, just my family, that's just our bloodline, man, and that's just our pedigree was athletes. And so all three of them was in the league at the same time. My dad was drafted to the New Orleans Saints. Shout out to the Saints, the Who That Nation. You already know. And he played his first 4 years there, and then his last 3 years, he flew up top to the Jets, played with Joe Namath and those boys, and he was in New Orleans with Archie Manning. So um, then I have another uncle. My uncle Mike played for the Cleveland Browns. He was with Jim Brown back in those days. And they say that when him and Jim Brown used to race in practice, my uncle Mike used to beat Jim Brown
Mm.
in the sprints. Then he got traded and went to in '72 and went to the Miami Dolphins and played on that undefeated team. Um, he's one of the all-time career interception leaders. He's in the Cleveland Browns Hall of Fame. And my uncle played 7 years. My uncle Lane played 7 years with the Eagles, offensive line. So that's just where we come from, man. And so started at an early age, man. Football, basketball, track, and we just got it out the mud, man. And so by the time that we got to the youth leagues and junior highs, man, it was off to the races. So of course, I got an identical twin. We're 5 minutes apart. Evan, he played DB, I played receiver, and so everybody just knew, man. Once we got up into that youth and that rec league, Man, watch out for them twins, man, because you don't want to see them little niggas. They coming like that. And so, man, just basketball, football, track, man, we just did it all, man, and was able to excel.
Yeah.
Dope.
So
That's dope.
yeah. So out of all of those sports, football was your favorite, or did you have another favorite sport?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Cole. Man, I wanted to go to Duke and be a point guard, man.
Man, look, man, I'm tired of you
Hey,
football dudes coming on this show talking
hey,
about y'all
hey,
b-ball skills, man.
Cole,
Every
Cole,
time.
Cole. I was a point guard before I was anything else. You understand me?
Running the show.
Hey, bro, I was a PG, man, on God. Like growing up, man, they didn't want to see the twins, man. We locking up full court. We gonna take your cookies. We gonna go lay it up. And we gonna run everything, man. We ran the whole city, man, up until we got to high school, and then we switched over to football. But man, everybody could tell you they did not want to see the twins, man. That's on God. Basketball, I still get stopped when I go to the gas station, and guys older and say, "Hey, man, you and your twin was hell on that court, man. Y'all turned out to be pretty nice on that field, but on that court, man." Man, that's all people used to talk about, and
Damn.
that's real talk. So that was my first love, man. But you know, uh, when I stopped growing in the 11th grade and stopped at 6 foot 6'1", it's like, hey man, them come a dime a dozen, and I ain't scoring 25 or 30 in high school. Uh, Man, let me try this football. And so um, we took a break from football. We played in junior high, and then we took a break once we got ninth and 10th grade, 11th grade. We didn't play football again until we were seniors in high school. When we started figuring out, okay, the letters are not coming. Um, we was getting, some track love, but we really didn't want to go to college and run track, man. We didn't love track that much. We just understood that track was a way to enhance our speed,
Mhm.
for basketball and football. And we kind of was forced to run too. My daddy wasn't having it. He's like, y'all running track because I understand that speed kills over everything. And so we was pretty successful in track as well. Um, but it really helped us as we decided to make that leap back onto the field our senior year, and we were able to both get all district and ended up getting a full ride scholarship to Grambling State under the legendary coach Eddie Robinson. Rest in peace.
Mhm. That's what's up. So when you ran track, man, so you was a quarter horse, or what was you just kind of glossed over that track stuff. So what were the events?
Quarter horse was
There
was
we go.
my what. I don't know how you can tell, Milk, but I was a quarter horse. I ran the 800 too, man. I
There
ran
you
the
go.
I ran the
Okay.
4x1, the 200, uh, the 4x4, everything from the 800 on down, man.
There you
I
go.
was pretty nice and like that in
Okay.
track as well. We ran high school. We ran the summer track uh, every summer from the age 8 all the way up to 18. Man, traveled all over the country. Ran in those Junior Olympic track meets every
Mhm.
summer, man. So we never really had any time off, man, because we were track in the summer, uh, football in the fall, and basketball right after that, and then jumping right back into high school track.
Mhm.
So we never had any time, man. Matter of fact, when I graduated from high school, y'all gonna laugh at this, but this is the God honest truth. I was the same height I am right now. I was 6 foot. I was 145 pounds, dripping wet,
Soaking wet.
soaking wet. We was just some skinny, athletic, real fast dudes.
Hey, you,
That we just couldn't gain no weight.
you were doing
Yeah,
too much when you had time to put weight on you.
yeah.
None, man.
Training and
None.
sleeping. Training and
None.
sleeping.
None. And so I tell guys, man, I'm like, hey, y'all just don't understand, man. You know, when we weighed in at Grambling our freshman year, we weighed in. I was a buck 45, Twin was a buck 47, and but we was just some fast, super fast guys that needed their bodies to, mature and grow.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
man. So a lot of times when you have standout athletes like you and your brother um, was entering into high school, there sometimes is a bidding war of like who's going to get these kids to come to our high school. Well, was it like that for you as well?
Well, it was a couple of high schools here that was wanting us, but they knew we were Wiseman high school. Like I had three brothers, well, one older brother and two sisters that both had already came to Wiseman, and so they knew that the twins were coming to Wiseman. It really wasn't no discussion. Even though my dad went to our arch rival across town, he went there, but everybody knew we were coming to Wiseman, man. But we were still Carroll High School fans, uh, but everybody knew it, man, and so it wasn't much, talk about it. They knew where we were going.
So how was it, man? Having a brother. I mean, you guys were twins, so that's a whole different dynamic. But how was it having your brother, man, to just have, because a lot of times you have competition in your schools and stuff, but it seemed like you and your brother were two dogs. So, talk to the viewers about how that was having someone that in-house competition that can push each other. Talk to the viewers about that, man.
Yeah, man. So having each other, man, it just gave us an advantage because um, we were going at it against each other in the neighborhood and in the rec and in our private workouts with my dad, and our older brother and my younger brother, that came right behind us. So all of us having each other, and especially with me and Twin, we were just so competitive, man. Like our one on ones, man, would last for hour and a half sometimes, man, just going back and forth. But we pushed each other and pushed each other and pushed each other so that when it was time to see the ops, they didn't have a chance, man. Oh, it's two of them? Oh, they didn't have a chance, man. But it just gave us that advantage, man, because we made each other better, man, and we pushed each other, you know, to the limit, man, and we just refused to lose, and we always had that killer and that dog in us, man. It was we just play all day. You remember back, y'all guys remember back in the day, man, when you go to the rec and you get to the rec at 12 o'clock and you there to 5 and 6 o'clock in the evening, man. These young boys just don't understand, man. The grind, man. You didn't have to look for us. You knew exactly where we was at, and this was every day, man.
Every day.
Every day, Monday through Saturday, and sometimes on Sundays, if your mom and dad let you go after church.
Yeah.
You feel me? And
Come
so,
home, come home, clothes all jacked up.
oh man, the whole nine, man. So it was just competitive like that, man. And then in the neighborhood, we always was outside playing basketball too, man. And so it was, man. We just never got tired, man. It was fun. It was just our lifestyle.
Nice.
That's what's up. So I know you ultimately, you guys signed to go to Grambling, but what was the recruiting process like for you guys and for you in particular coming out of high school? Did you take visits? Who did you visit?
Man, it was only one school, Kobe, and one offer, and that was Oklahoma. I mean, I'm sorry, that was Grambling State. It was understood, like, um I guess because everybody just knew that my dad and my uncles were all legends. And, keep in mind, we only played football our senior year. So uh, nobody really knew about us until Coach Rob came to practice. He knew that, the Howell twins were playing, but he was the only one that offered, the only one that really ever showed any interest in called. And so it was understood that the Howell twins are gonna follow their dad and their uncle, and they're gonna go to Grambling. They're gonna be G-men. Yeah.
Wow. So what can you tell our viewers and listeners about the experience at Grambling, both on the field and off the field? Like, HBCU sometimes is a different culture. So if you can kind of paint a picture for the viewers and listeners.
Man, I'm so happy, man, that we had the opportunity to attend an HBCU. Um, at the time, that's kind of all we knew. We went to Grambling games growing up. Um, we remember the Grambling Alcorn games with Steve McNair, and we remember going to watch Grambling and Mississippi Valley State and watching Jerry Rice and watching Walter Payton at Jackson State play against Grambling, all of these guys coming up. And so um, that's all that we knew in person. We would watch LSU. I was a big LSU fan, and I was actually a big OU fan growing up. So my mom is from Oklahoma, and so we were OU fans, football fans growing up, watching those guys in the wishbone, um, and watching LSU. So that's kind of all we knew as far as growing up and being able to watch on TV. Um, and attending those HBCU games, man, and just the experience going to the games and the bands,
There it is.
and then you get on campus and it's like amazing. You seeing so many beautiful women that you've never seen. You got all black instructors. Um, all the coaches are black. The cafeteria workers are all black. I mean, everything was black, man. So that's all we knew. And then coming from Monroe, Louisiana, the South Side is all black, and the North Side and West Monroe is all white. So that's all we were ever accustomed to was black everything. And so it was kind of an easy transition, going to Grambling our freshman year, because that's all we knew. But it was just on a whole nother level, because now you got all these people from New York and from California and from Florida, and all these places coming to Grambling. Grambling is it's a small place. It's not a huge campus, um, and so you're seeing everybody every day, and they seeing you. And so with Grambling football, you play football, you off the top, you got some stripes and got love. Like, oh, he played football. The twins, they here. So, and then Grambling is only 30 minutes up the street. So it's kind of like, you're at home, but you're further away to where you're away from home. There go my guy, Big Tommy. What's happening? What's up,
Oh,
bro? What's up, bro?
hey man, I'm back in the building, man. Back like I never left, man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get this light out from behind me. Yeah.
Yes,
What's up
sir.
with you, man?
Man, miss you, bro. Good to see you, big dog.
Good to see you too, man. You look like you deliver Pepsi's, man, on the 18 wheeler with that with that headset on. Look like an OTR trucker, man.
Hey, man. Hey, bro. Hey, I was having a few little technical difficulties with my laptop, man, and I
You
wanted to
got
make
that
sure I had to throw on my beats, man, so I could
hey,
hear y'all, man. I wanted to make sure it's legit.
hey
Because if
Kobe,
I
you got
take
that
if I take them off, I
that
can't hear too well.
He got that Phoenix to Houston, New Orleans route. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, come on, man. Let's get back on track, man.
Hey,
What's up
Pooh,
with you, baby?
Pooh, you know they need traffic control in Newark.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I'm in the South, man. So everything in the
That's
South
what I'm saying.
is slower, man. We got inmates, man, down here escaping
Hey,
jail,
listen.
and they
Hey,
still
man.
looking for them. Man, it's
Hey, I'm
crazy
I'm
down here,
I'm
man.
I'm rooting for them last two, man. Man, get to Mexico, Slim. Just get to Mexico. That's all you got to do, man.
Hey, they gonna need some help to get there, man. I don't know, man.
Hey, listen, man. Them
You
boys
know,
that
help
got
when
low.
we get there too. Mexico
Hey,
ain't
look.
playing around these days.
Hey,
Hey, but
look.
they could be hiding anywhere in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans, the only place I know where you drive down the street and you see stuff that look like it's vacant, boarded up, and you like, oh man, there's people that live there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
They be boarded up, Cole, and it's people that actually live there. You like, so
Hey,
you know if they
man.
got if the right marshals ain't looking, some marshals if they ain't from New Orleans, they like, oh man, ain't nobody. That's an abandoned house. Or that's an abandoned building.
Hey, man. They running out of time, man. The walls is closing in, but they've been out about a month now, man. So I hope they've been able to live their life to the fullest
Get it in.
in this 30 days, man. Because they time is coming, man. I just hope they don't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? Before they get caught, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we gotta get back on track. Pumi conveniently interrupt. Hey, that's
Just
how I
kick the
do.
door
E.
in. Just
That's how
kicking
I
the
do.
door in.
But no,
Hey, he was talking. He came in hot too,
Yeah,
man.
he
He
came
came
in
in
hot as
hot.
shit.
That's what I do.
He was talking about his experience at Grambling, both on and off the field, and how great of an
Well, you
experience.
want to see how I do it? You know how to do it, but you want to see how I
Somebody else talking in the back.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that feedback was. Hey, this is No Cap Sports Show, baby. We get feedback, all that.
They
Nah,
came in.
that might have been my brother. Y'all might have heard him talking. You know,
Yeah.
he loud. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
you can hear timber for miles away.
tell Timber I said what's up, but I knew it had to be on pool, man, because everything else been clear.
Hey E, I'm just glad.
Everything was ghetto fabulous till I showed up.
Hey E, I'm just glad he in some light with some white walls. Cause normally he in the Baltimore alleys selling crack. I don't know what he.
He used to be stuck behind the wheel like he in the hideout or
Yeah,
something.
Oh, he got a
bro. You know
styrofoam,
I can't let them know where I'm
smoking
at,
on the
man.
floor.
I got to ride around, man. I can't let them ice agents catch me, man. You know what I'm saying? Donald
Hey,
Trump trying to give it to all of us. My name ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
man, bro, we gotta get right, man. Boom, you got the lighting right though, bro. You got the lighting right.
yes
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So E, this is my question for you. So you're a legacy athlete. You at Grambling. You got a big name. You and your brother there doing your thing. Y'all walking around campus. Y'all big dogs at Grambling. What went into the decision to leave Grambling and ultimately going to OSU?
So we redshirted that year, but starting off, man, early on, man, we could see, and everyone else could see that we were kind of separating from that freshman pack. Uh, you know, these little cats can go. Everybody started to see that. The older classmen started to give us love and respect us and let us hang out with them. Off campus after practice, all that, man. So they were showing major love to us, and we knew that that we could play on any level, man. Um, we came in hot, we came in hungry, and we was ready to compete, man. I was scoring touchdowns in the spring games and in the preseason scrimmages. Twin was over there picking off every quarterback, man, getting an interception every day, and it was just like, man, these twins are making big plays. They ready to play right now. But back then, man, it wasn't no playing no true freshman at Grambling. They didn't care how good you were. You just, Eddie Robinson was old school. He was, when we got there, he was in his like 49th, 50th year.
Man.
And so he was, stuck in his ways. Like no freshman wasn't ever playing. No matter how good you were, you had to pay your respect, wait your turn, and then you know what I'm saying. You get on the field. That's just kind of how the tradition was. And so we're making plays, and then Grambling started to get some buzz on going on NCAA probation about around some things that had happened in the past that had nothing to do with us. And so you had these guys from the NCAA coming in, interviewing players. They interviewing us, asking us questions. Like, we're confused. Like, what's going on? Why y'all interviewing us? We just got here. The questions that y'all asking have really nothing to do with us. But they were having issues about practices going overtime and spending too much time on the practice field and some other things that were questionable. And so it was a lot of talk that Grambling is going to be going on probation and is going to be missing some games and got some stuff coming, and so we didn't want to be a part of that, and we knew that we had separated and showed that we could play on any level, and so we just made the decision, man. And Oklahoma State came into the picture because my dad, one of his good friends, was the running backs coach at the time at Oklahoma State, a guy named Tom Levine out of New Orleans. And so when we started to, weigh our options and look at different places, that was just one of the first places that we went to, and we knew that we were going to have a good opportunity there because, we know somebody. My dad, played with Coach Levine and was kind of like his big brother at Grambling, and so he talked to us and told us, hey, you guys come in here and compete. This is this is the Big 12, and so you guys come here and compete. You can play here. But they had that crazy rule back then that if you go up to a higher division, you would have to sit out a year. And so we already were redshirting at Grambling, and then we get to Oklahoma State, had to sit out another year. That's 2 years out that we ain't played. So we went there, man, and then the rest is history. But we walked on there. We didn't get there on a full ride. We walked on and then had to earn the scholarship. But it was tough, leaving your family, leaving your teammates, leaving your friends. It was tough, but it was a lot easier because we had each other. And so that made the decision a lot easier.
So how was the transition from an HBCU to a PW?
The transition was very difficult, man. I'm talking about in the classroom and on the field. You go from, like I mentioned earlier, you go from an all-black campus, all-black everything, to all-white campus and all-white everything, basically. Yeah, you had a few, black guys. The only black people that were on campus were the football players and basketball players, but everything else was painted white, man. And, instructors, everybody white. And so it was a transition, man, because it was hard. You didn't know anybody, and you gotta get it out the mud. Everything you gotta work for everything. Ain't no favors. Ain't no this it wasn't none of that, man. So it was a struggle academically, more than athletically, man. That was a struggle. But we got there and just had to grind on the field. Sure, they were a lot bigger. I wouldn't necessarily say faster or more athletic. They were just bigger in the trenches, because you got these big white guys, in the trenches, and everybody's been on these weight programs and there. And so that was the biggest difference from us was not our speed and not our skill, but it was just strength, and strong. Like those guys were strong. We how it is at these HBCUs. I mean, it's a lot better now, but when we were coming up, weight room, what? Man, we had to work out with the student body.
Closet.
It wasn't, yeah, man. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? We had a specific weight. No, we had to go work out with the student body, and they were, they would give us a time frame where we could go work out. But man, we were working out in there with, just a couple benches and, a couple little machines, and then we get to Oklahoma State, and it was like, wow, you got all this, and then the training table, the food is different, man, everything, man, so, but you appreciated that, coming from an HBCU, and once you got there, man, it was like night and day.
I did the opposite. I went from a PWI to HBCU. When you say working out, I remember the first time, we had a little weight room, if you want to call it that, in the basement of our dorm, right? It was a little dungeon.
Right.
So
right.
I remember the first time they said we got to work out in the morning, right? We get there and we start that workout as well as every other workout with 1,000 push-ups.
That was the workout.
No, that was the start. That was the start. Once you got through the 1,000, it was 20 people in the group. Everybody had a set of 50. Then it's like, all right, now you got 10 sets of 10 on the bench press.
Wow.
Oh man, it was terrible, man. When I say, but we ain't had no strength coach. Our strength with the offensive line coach Fred Dean, that's my man. But he ran the weight. I mean, he ran our weight group. So you had either that, or you had our D line coach who was going to have you do shoulders with 10-pound weights for 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Who was your O line coach?
Fred Dean.
They played in the league.
Yeah, they played for the Redskins.
And the 49ers, didn't
he? Nah, it's two different Fred Deans.
Okay.
Yeah, that Fred Dean, I think he like in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Okay.
Yeah. That's we got Fred Dean B. That's Fred Dean A. We got Fred Dean B.
Okay. I was wondering because the Fred Dean, the Hall of Famer, he's one of my dad's best friends. He passed away a few years ago, but he's from about this way, like right near Grambling in Ruston, where
but not Fred Dean. He from I think he from Houston. Where Fred Dean from, too? Huh? Oh no, he from Florida. He from like Gainesville. Yeah. So it was two different Fred Deans, man. Like I said, we got Fred Dean B. He played with the Hogs though. He played with the Redskins.
Okay.
Back in the day, so.
Yeah. So man, it was night and day, man. But I definitely could see you, Poom, going from, the upper to the lower. I know that was a drastic change.
Man, it was like it was night and day, but so it was so many things culturally that I wasn't prepared for. Like when I went down ECU, so the football wasn't a problem. Like I started as a true freshman, football wasn't a problem. It was just everything else. Like you could tell me all you want, America was only 13% black. Right, but I live in Washington, D.C., Slim. You know what I'm saying? I never had, I ain't had no white teachers. I ain't never had no white principal. I ain't never had no white doctors. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had black everything, So when I went down there, and I was like, oh man, America really is only 13% black. You know what I'm saying? Then you start seeing it. And like
Yeah,
to your point though, like it's all your teachers are white. All the students in the class is white. You like, man, what is the only black people on campus is football, basketball. You got a couple students, but then, workers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Not professors,
right,
the workers. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
the
The
cafeteria,
janitors, and
maintenance, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And so that was the culture shocker of that was maybe if I'd have been somewhere that was in a bigger city, you know what I'm saying? But Greenville, North Carolina ain't nothing but ECU, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's just like, man, it is what it is. I was like, man, I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta get around back my black people.
yeah.
But it was a hell of a sacrifice on the football side though. Because so when you said like the extra time, I'm like, man, that was one of the things that killed me like when I first came. Because in PWIs, we had 21 periods. They blowing that whistle at 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what work you got
Right,
done in that first period, you move it on to period two.
go,
You know what I'm saying? It's going, no, nonstop.
right.
And when I got to Howard, man, there was no set time on when practice could be over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I'm saying, man. That
like the only thing that could save you is like, hey man, the calf is closing. Like, you
that's
know what I'm
it.
saying?
Right,
And you be like, all right,
right.
let you guys
Yep,
go.
yep,
Calf
yep.
close in
That's
20 minutes. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
how it
That was the only
was.
thing to take. But a
That's how it
two
was
hour,
in
3 hour
Clemson.
practice, you know what I'm saying? That was nothing. Like it was nothing. So in my protests, I used to be like, all right, we don't know what time it's gonna start, so I ain't going out there till I ain't going out there till inside. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
not going out there for Indy. I'm not going out there for special teams. No, because I just be standing around. I used to be in the locker room like, I asked, hey, where they at right now? Oh man, they in
Yeah.
717. I'll be out
Oh,
there
I'm good.
in 10 minutes.
15
Yeah, I
minutes.
got once they get the inside or blitz drill, that's when I go out.
Yep.
And I was so young, I just run out, no stretch, no nothing. Just run out, strap his head up, and get the huddle.
That's it, man. That's it. That's how it was, man. HBC. HBC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So E, how long did it take you once you got on the field at OSU to get acclimated and really hit your stride out there where you started to, make some noise and get recognition? So how was that transition? How long did it actually take you?
Um, it took about a good year and a half, man, to be honest, to where I was really ready to step out there and really compete. Because like I said, I was 145 pounds. So I needed to put on some weight and I needed to do that fast in order to, take some of that punishment, some of them licks, man.
145 pounds, man. You had to look like a bobblehead out there, man.
Bro, bro,
Damn.
bro, you missed that part, bro.
145, hey,
A
you
hundred
you run around your head was probably
slim, skinny, man.
But
And
if I'm
so,
mistaken, like Devontae Adams, he was like that size going into Alabama, right?
yeah, and one of them other
You mean Devontae Smith.
I mean, my bad,
yep,
Devontae Smith.
that's
Yeah,
why that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Like him, man. Like I was just fast as lightning, straight line speed, but I had to, you know, grow and mature, man, in my body and put on some weight, man, and learn how to do everything, block and all that, man. Oh, man, I ain't know nothing about no blocking, man. I'm a wide receiver, coach. What we doing?
yeah.
Blocking? Yeah, you got 2, 3 tight ends and like what that ain't that their job, man. Just send me deep. So I had to understand the concept of having to do all that, man. So it was the little intangibles like that, man, that I had to learn. I had to bulk up, I had to learn how to block, and I just needed to learn more football because like I said, we had only played the 1 year in high school and then sat out my true freshman year with the red shirt, and then I was on scout team, the next year all year. But I dominated and killed in the scout team versus the ones and the twos, and so man, running and catching was never a problem. It was everything else. It was learning a playbook. It was It was having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, in the off season and work out. It was having to go lift weights, during the semester. Go get your weights in before you even go to class. It was all of that stuff, man. That we were slow on. And so that was the hardest, most challenging part. But once we got all that stuff down and I bulked up a little bit, man, when we came out of that year when we had to sit out, man, we was off to the races.
Man, them early morning workouts used to be so busy. East Carolina, I had a black tight end coach named Willie Scott. He played at South Carolina with George Rogers. First round pick of the Patriots. He went like number 10, right?
George Rogers, that's my man.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's my man. Yeah.
Coach Scott, I used to be like, man, Coach Scott, man, why we gotta wake up? Like we got all day. Like we can get this thing in. Why we gotta go before class? He said, well, never want you niggas not to know why you here. You were not here to go to class. So, first thing in the morning, know why you here. You here to play football. You ain't here to go to class, man.
That's real, man. And I know these days they push, athletics, they push academics first, and then you're student athlete. Man, shit.
Yeah.
Man, it ain't not in my world, it ain't never been student athlete. The student part meant you stay eligible to play.
Right.
That's it. We ain't trying to exceed these expectations and be scholars. You stay eligible so you can be on this field. And nowadays, man, these kids, they got it easy, man. I know at Oklahoma State, man, most of the athletes don't even go into a classroom. All their classes online.
Online. And it's just a different game. So now it's different, but they've never. That is the one thing I'd say was a huge difference between a PWI and a HBCU is that when I got to Howell, Steve Wilson was, he had his hands full with me and O-Dog, but he was about, he was about graduating kids. You know what I'm saying? Like he was about you going to class. And at the PWI, it wasn't about. They made sure you go to class, but like you said, it was just so that you were eligible.
Right.
They didn't care about like what your track was or which way you headed. Yeah, it was just like, hey man, you gotta make sure because we had a lot of jokers, man. That I was like, man, how the hell y'all had to take the SAT to get here, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple jokers, man. They couldn't spell cat if you gave them the C and the A.
Real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real, man.
Yeah, you like, man. What did y'all do in high school?
A lot of them skated out because they were just great athletes. They had people taking the test for them.
And then when they got the EC, they just had the tutors that did all their work. And I was just like, it's probably because my mother Black Panther, but I just wasn't gonna let no white girl do my work for me because I was just like, I don't think you're smarter than me. One, you know what I'm saying? I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? My mother has planted this seed of distrust for white people. So you're probably gonna try to turn in something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So the work that I did it myself. The work that I turned in.
Hey, glad you clarified that part.
They had to, man. At Oklahoma State, man, I had to go find some white friends, man, that could help, because, man, I was lost, man. I wasn't no dummy, but I was lost, man. That education up there was way different from Grambling education. You feel me? So,
but Grambling is one of them lower tier. We was the Howard. Something like Howard University. We produce scholars at Howard.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because I remember that your man your man Diddy went there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Hey, guess what? And we ain't gonna turn our back on him. We invented the remix at Howard. Take that. We invented the remix at Howard.
Hey yo, Come on,
A
bro.
lot of shows
Hold
just
up.
take a hard left.
Hold up.
We invented the
Hold
remix.
the fuck up. He got to remove his ass. Fool. He got to go to timeout just for like 1 minute or something, man.
Pause.
Oh, man. Hey, this interview is about to go left, E.
Right
Can't
off the
let Boom
tracks.
get rolling, man. You can't let him get started, man.
Hey man, I had to throw that at Poon, man. He came at the G, man, where everybody is somebody, man. I couldn't let him come at the G like that, man. That's all I could think of, man. My bad.
Hey, but that's facts.
Oh man.
Poon stay with a bottle of baby oil too. I think they give it to you in the kid package when you first as a freshman at Howell.
Yo, when you walk in the door, freshman orientation.
If I got a bottle, Kobe, he let that alternative life say he got a whole closet in his basement. But hey, listen, man, no disrespect to Grambling, man. No disrespect to Grambling. It's a good school, but the difference between Grambling and Howard is, at Howard University, we graduate people to build planes, and at Grambling, y'all graduate people to clean them. It's the same thing, though. Same thing.
All right, Poon. You got it, man. Hey, I'm gonna leave HBCUs alone, man. I got love for all the HBCUs.
No, I'm just playing,
I
man.
got to get out there for a Howard homecoming one of these days.
Now you gotta get out there this year, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, old dog been trying to pull me, man. I just be
Hey,
so
listen,
busy.
man. Hey, look. Hey, your time is winding down. You cannot take your first hour homecoming after 50, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to get there at least in your 40s. You know what I'm saying? You got a semblance of youth. If you take your first homecoming at 50, man, you might,
I got 3 years, Poon.
You got 3?
I got 3 years.
I got 3 then.
So we gonna plan that, man. We're gonna plan that for sure.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this.
So at OSU, when did you start getting recognition for your play at wide receiver? Because looking at the stats and everything, and you were the best wide receiver on the team. So when did you know that, hey, I'm really good at this level, and there's a real shot for me to go to the next level?
Well, we had some guys, man, some DBs there that was all Big 12 first teams, and I used R.W. McQuarters is the name, first round guy that went to the San Francisco 49ers. We had another all Big 12 first team guy that got drafted in the third round to the Texans named Kevin Williams. My brother. We had some other guys, man, that could go, man. We had some great defensive backs, and so going up against those guys every day in practice, I knew that if I could run by these guys and run every route in the route tree, man, that I knew I was going to be successful when I got on the field, man, and got in the game. And so my sophomore year, I played a lot of special teams. I did get in on offense, but we were a running team, man. We had some running backs that were all Big 12 conference. And so we didn't throw the ball much. We had a 2 tight end set with a fullback, a running back, and 2 wideouts, man. This was before you had the spread offenses and all that stuff, man. And so I knew my opportunities were going to be limited, and I knew that I had to make the most of my opportunities. And so my sophomore year, I didn't get a lot of looks. We didn't throw the ball, but my junior year is when I really started coming out. I actually led the Big 12 in yards per catch at 31.9 a pop, man. Every time, man, I'm catching it, man. I'm going deep. I'm scoring touchdowns, man. I'm moving the chains, and so that's when I really started to come out, man. My junior year and making plays.
Yeah. Go ahead, jump in there, coach.
Nah, man, I'm just listening. Like I said, man, I was going to ask, because you guys, the OSU team, and you covered it. It's like that was when was Thurman Thomas was there? Was it Thurman that went to OSU?
Yeah, Thurman and the great
Was
Barry Sanders.
just so running? That was the
So
calling
that
card
was
for you
yeah. We
guys.
were we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
the tailback U
Yes, sir.
um,
Yes, sir.
that really started that, but they were before me.
Before you,
But
okay.
but they were like mid to late '80s, and so still from that time frame, from the early '90s, through the mid '90s, when I got there in '96, um, they were still run, 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 and the Big 12 was run, run, run.
That's
You
where all
know,
that
it was
blocking
it was
came
the
in.
Big
At
Eight. It was the Big Eight that converted into the Big 12.
there you
Um,
go.
but it was run, run, run. OU was running the option.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska was running the option.
Yeah.
So it was just a run league,
Mm-hmm.
and so um, it was hard to break. As a wide receiver, but you knew that when you get the opportunity, you just had to make the best of it.
So
And
were you playing special teams and receiver still in your
yeah,
junior year, or just went straight receiver?
special teams and receiver.
Gotcha.
Still in my junior year, I was
Mm-hmm.
running out on running down on punt as a gunner.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew that would still help my opportunity to the next level was
Yes, sir.
playing special teams. So I was never one of those guys that thought I was too good or good enough to play special teams. Man, it was like, hey, let's get it, and if that helps the team win, let's get it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed like from '98 to '99, like your opportunities to catch the ball really increased. Um, did you guys make a transition from running the ball to be more of a passing team? Because I noticed in '98 you guys had 1,000 yard back with Simmons, and then a 400 yard back with Fobbs, and then the quarterback ran for 600 yards. Yeah, but that next year it seemed like your opportunities to really get out there and catch the ball and do some things really increased. So was that because it looked like you had another quarterback that was taking most of the snaps, and did you guys go from a running team to more of a pass happy team?
Yeah. So my junior year, our quarterback Tony Lindsay, he was a true freshman, and he came in as he was a dual threat, but
Mm-hmm.
he was stronger with his legs and running than he was passing, and so he didn't have a very strong arm, but he was elusive. And then my senior year, he got hurt, and so we had to bring the backup in, and the backup was just the opposite. He had more of a stronger arm
Okay.
than being elusive. So that gave me a lot more opportunities. And then we opened it up a little bit too. We got a new offensive coordinator, and I was able to catch a lot of more balls, even though every game I was getting double and triple teamed. I think I ended up with 35, 36 catches or something like that. So
Yeah.
it wasn't any, crazy number. But back then, in our offense and with the defense that I saw, I was still able to make honorable mention all Big 12 that year because I made the most of my opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, Poon?
Was you was before Justin Blackman, right?
Yeah, I was before Justin Black.
When did
Man,
he come in? He wasn't a young buck on your team, or
no. Justin came about 7 or 8 years after
it
me.
was that much long? I thought he was like early 2000s.
He was like more of the mid to late 2000s.
I thought he was before that, man.
Yeah,
I thought maybe.
we had another All American, a kid that was a freshman when I was coming out. His name was Rashawn Woods, and he made
Rashawn, that's what I'm thinking about.
yeah, that's his
That's what
name.
I'm thinking about. He wound up he got a lot of rocks like his
Yeah.
He was the beginning of that Oklahoma State receivers
Right.
that was doing them 100 and something yard catches a year. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah. He was like the second. So let me backtrack. They had a guy named Hartley Dykes.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys ever remember that name, he played with Barry and Thurman. He
Mm-hmm.
was first team All American. Got drafted to the New England Patriots first round, and then I got drafted. Was the next receiver to get drafted after him, which was like a whole decade later. And then Rashawn Woods a few years after me, and then you had the Dez Bryant and Justin Blackmon after that.
And
So we
Crabs too,
we've
yeah.
we've had some dudes at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So when did you realize it was a real opportunity for you to go to the next level? Like when did that kind of set in? How did that all come about?
As the scouts start coming in, for practices, and they would pull me and my brother to the side and tell us, you know, great things, that we had a lot of skill and had the shape, to make it to the next level. And then my junior year on our pro day, we both went 4.34, and that's when the spark just, these boys done ran 4.34. And the crazy thing about it was we twins. We ran it separate. So I went first and ran it 4.34, and then he came right behind me and ran 4.34. And the
Wow.
scouts just went crazy. They was trying to get us to come out then after our junior year, after we ran those times, because back in the day, you just didn't see that a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And so
That's
that's what really opened up the floodgates. Like, the eyes really started coming on the Howell twins, because they were legit 4.3 guys.
Mhm.
damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So E, as you finishing up your senior year, and I know agents started reaching out to you, but what were they telling you, like in terms of teams that was interested in your draft position, and how was you preparing for that next step, that next phase of your athletic career?
Well, my brother was actually getting more love than I was. He was ranked uh, as top 15 DB in the country. He got invited to the combine. He got invited to remember the blue gray game?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you got invited to the blue gray game, you was going to the league pretty much.
That's a lot.
Um, and so he was getting more love than I was. I wasn't even invited to the combine.
Mm.
Um, and so, but I was still getting a lot of love, even though I wasn't invited to the combine. I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to go do my thing, perform well on pro days and on my pro day, and eventually get drafted.
Yep. So you ended up getting drafted by the home team, Washington Commanders. Well, back then Redskins. Did you know beforehand that they was going to draft you?
Man, I had never talked to the Redskins.
Ah,
Pre pre-draft, I had never talked to them. I had no clue, no idea. I thought I was going to the Buffalo Bills, man. Um, so Buffalo flew me out, first time ever flying first class. They flew me out there, uh, you know, showed me the red carpet treatment. But I'm coming from Oklahoma at the time, and at the time it was hot. And so, somebody had told me, man, it's cold in Buffalo, man. So, just bring a jacket. We talk this it's April, May, Man, I stepped off the plane, and it was 3 feet of snow and freezing. And I had on like a little windbreaker. Man, I couldn't believe it. Um, and so they picked me up, man. I'm freezing. And they take me to the facility. They walk me around, man. I'm shivering everywhere, man. I was just uncomfortable. So much to the point that when the head coach asked me, uh, so do you want to come and play here? You think you can be here? Man, my crazy ass tell this man, man, I think it's a little bit too cold for me up here. But if y'all draft me, I come. I have no choice. But looking back, man, and when I talked to my agent, that was the most terrible thing to say. They had a third round pick, man, and they told me that we need a receiver in the third round. But after that experience up there, man, I told them people, man, I was I was cold, man, and shit, man, they cut me right off the list, man. Sent me home. Sent me home the next day, man. They ended up taking a wide receiver from a guy named Ryan Dixon from a small college, Tennessee State or somewhere Ryan went to. And they ended up taking him, man. And we were the same size, height, and everything. That's a true story. And so getting back to Washington on draft day, man, I had never heard, so down south, the Cowboys were the only, and the Saints were the only teams that were coming on TV, and it was more Cowboys than Saints. I was only a Saints fan because my dad had played for the Saints, but I was really, loving the Cowboys. And so I would see the Redskins and Cowboys game on TV all the time, and I'm like, dang, this is intense, And so when I got that call, man, from the Washington Redskins, look, I'm still green, man. I ain't knowing. I'm thinking that Washington Redskins is in the state of Washington. So Dan Snyder on the phone, he's like, "Hey, Ethan, you ready to come to Washington?" I say, "Yeah, Coach. I've heard a lot of good things about Seattle." Man, I had no idea that that Washington D.C. was Washington Redskins. I'm thinking the state of Washington. And so, Dan Snyder tells me, "No, man, this is Washington D.C., the district, the nation's capital." I was like, "Oh, okay, for real?" I was like, "Oh, all right, Coach. I like, hey, let's go. Let's get it." So he put me on with Norv Turner, who was the head coach at the time, and then my receiver coach was Terry Rubisky. And so, man, it was just a dream come true, man. Even though it was 7th round, it was just a dream come true, man, to see your name there on the board on TV, man. But it was bittersweet because I'm over here. My brother had dropped out of the draft and had to go free agency, and so that was a very disappointing. So I'm over here, trying to celebrate me at the same time, but also at the same time, trying to be there to encourage him that even though you didn't get drafted, twin, somebody gonna pick you up. But man, it was a great time, man. Great day.
Yeah. Oh, was you and Pumi in camp together?
Now,
Certainly.
Poom came a year before me or after me, Poom.
No, I was there. I came. I didn't sign right after the draft. I signed late, so I was there in camp. You know what I'm saying? So I was there when Norv was there, and so was Norv. Russ Grimm was a coach. Me and David Terrell. David Terrell was my roommate.
See, I remember Dave. I didn't remember you at the time. I remembered
Yeah,
you after, but I
yeah.
remember
So
Dave all the time because we used to have to go against each other in
yeah,
practice
y'all
all the
gotta go to the, but yeah, Dave was my roommate, man. I came in, me and actually, so I signed, me and Chris Samuels arrived the same day. Remember how Chris came in like a day or two late to camp?
Yes, Chris used to ride with me every day to practice, Poom.
Yeah. So I rode with, I used to ride with, damn, D Lyman went to Maryland.
Uh, uh, got drafted with me. Dale
Calcett,
Calcett.
Double Calcett. Yeah, me and Double Calcett used to ride it.
Yeah, Poom. You was there,
Yeah.
Poom. You was quiet or something, man.
Hey, listen, man.
You
Hey,
ain't hang
I
out or
was
something,
gonna
man.
ask you. I said, man, do you remember the day in practice that Jeff George he threw a wide side out? I don't know who he threw the wide side out to. Right? He threw the wide side out, and Norm Turner stopped and was like, "God, Jesus Christ, Jeff, you've been in the league 50. You can't make that, bro." Like, and I think it might be like Lloyd Harrison or Champ. Somebody smacked the ball down, right?
Yeah.
We went back to the huddle. Jeff called the same play. They run it again. And he threw the same thing. But this time he whizzed that bitch right by Daryl Green head. You know what I'm saying? I think AC might have caught it, right?
Yeah.
And Jeff George turned around and told Norm Turner, man, don't you ever fucking question my arm again. Like, and just yelled at him in front of the whole team. And I was like, man, this was the NFL like. Like, you could talk to the coach like that?
Like that. Jeff George, Brad Johnson, man. Them was two OGs. But boom, tell him, man, if you saw Jeff George walking in any kind of convenience store, grocery store, man, you would not even
You'd think he was a mechanic or something.
You're absolutely right.
But
I'm talking about.
But I think he got the most talent I've ever seen with my two eyes attached to his shoulder. His arm, he could make, every throw unbelievably. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, look,
he's the test case for me to say, if you ain't got it here, it don't matter your talent. And Jeff was just, he was as talented as they come. You know what I'm saying? As far as the quarterback throwing the ball.
Jeff could sling it, man. I'll never forget that the first day in one-on-ones, man, because I was known as a flat 9 guy, go deep, and sure enough, man, they wanted to see, okay, can Howell really run, by somebody? So on the first route of the day, when we went one-on-ones, and Jeff got up there, it was me and Jeff. Everybody knew, the DB knew I was going deep, and he was about 15 yards deep. Hey, man, Jeff threw that ball as far as he could, man. And I caught it and went and got it and caught it, man. And I knew then, I said, okay, yeah, I think this league is for me. But Jeff was, he could, man, I'm talking about like 70 yards in the air, man.
Yeah. And he could, and everything. Like, another thing, like you see quarterbacks throw the ball, like sometimes they'll have like a wobbly, you know what I'm saying? It's not a tight. Jeff always threw a pretty ball. Like every pass was a pretty ass ball. It was a tight spiral. I mean, he gonna get it where he need to get it. He just was a complete asshole. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He could spin it, man. But man, that squad, and see, Poom, I was there mini camp, and then I tore my hamstring in mini camp. And then when we got to training camp, I only practiced for the first 3 days, and then tore my hamstring again.
Shit.
And I was out the rest of camp. So that's why we didn't have much interaction.
Yeah.
I was in the damn training room. Yeah, and then when I tore my hamstring, they sent me home for the rest of training camp before they brought me back and put me on the IR. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. But I was gonna make that team because at the time I was running with the twos. Me and James Thrash was going back and forth running with the twos behind Michael Westbrook, and then you had AC on the other side and Irvin Fryer and my boy Nine. You remember Nine, Poom, Darius Thompson.
Yeah, Darius Thompson.
Yeah.
So Ethan, was that your first major injury? Because this is the first time I've heard you speak of any injury. Was that your first major injury in training camp?
In training camp, man.
Wow.
And I tore it when I tore it in mini camp. I tore it doing special team. you know, and then because like Poom was saying earlier, everything was so quick. You know, you ain't got time to, take your time here and there. You know what I'm saying, man? They blow that whistle, man. Them drills, man, and each one of them, man, them individuals was quick, man. They don't give you time to really warm up good, man. And I tore my hamstring the first time, man, on special teams, man, running out and down on Gunner, man. And I was out the rest of like another month or two before we started training camp, and thought that I was ready. And then, man, like third, fourth day, man, in one-on-ones. Matter of fact, boom, I tore my hamstring running a 20-yard dig on David Terrell. I caught that motherfucker though, but when I tried to turn it and run,
push off.
pop, it was over with. Yep.
Yeah, man, that was all I know. I just remember it used to be so hot when Snyder would come in and land his helicopter. You know what I'm saying? You get that little breeze. We be stretching, and you get that little breeze. You be like, oh man, then they go sit there, get the little white leather lawn chairs on the side. You know what I'm saying? Looking at us like we was. Man, it had a real plantation feel to that, man.
I ain't going to say it. Slaves
That's
are
real.
I'm telling you, had a real. Hey, look here. So I remember one day we leaving the field, right? Me and Chris, we walking together, and we walking behind. It was Snyder and somebody else. He on the phone, and he just get to the door, and he like about 6 feet in front of me and Chris, right? And he just stopped and turned around, and me and Chris looked at each other, and I'm like, shit, Chris just got 36 million. Hey, let me get that door for you, Mr. Snyder.
Right.
I'm trying to make this team, man. Chris got 35 million, man. That man, I ain't lying, he just stopped Kobe. He stopped at the door and turned around and looked like, man, which one of my niggas gonna open this door up for me? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, shit. I ain't got that.
I got you, boss.
I got you, boss. Let me.
Man, him and LeVar got paid, man.
Man.
And I think that I got caught up in, being a draft pick, thinking that, and I'm hanging out with these guys. These guys went number 2 and 3 in the draft, and man, I'm in DC. I was going to, all my training sessions, but I wasn't getting my rest, in the evening and at night, man, like I was supposed to, man, because Chocolate City.
Ooh, and that was a time back then. That was a time.
The curse of the district. Many great athletes came out here and could not make it.
And as they say, everything ain't for everybody.
No,
hey, listen, man. DC was hitting its stride in that year, 2000. We was really just hitting out. Like that was the beginning of like a 15-year run where DC was one of the best party cities in the country.
Yes,
DC started what they say. We started the super club.
The super clubs, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, man, with them boys Taz and
Mark Barnes.
And Mark Barnes,
Mark Barnes, man, them boys, man, was throwing mega parties everywhere, man. And then I'm falling in there with LeVar and Chris Samuels. Oh man, I ain't have to pay nothing.
Hey, no, you need to see your mistake was you should have been rolling with Poom. Because Poom is the man, he the man of the city. I don't give a damn how much they got on their contracts. Poom was the man of the city. I don't give a damn where he goes.
We moved in the same places, man. That's why I will say this, man. That was during that time. It ain't matter who you was gonna be in the same place I was, the same VIP rooms, and you might. But the only thing is, I might come in with about 7, 8 more people, because everybody come like, "Yo, let's go." That's how we roll.
Oh yeah, because that was home for you, so I'm already knowing it was on a whole nother level. That's why me and Poom didn't hang out, because Poom was way over there doing his thing. He had the key to the city.
Man, listen.
Poom was moving like that since a teenager.
Hey, listen, man. That's one of the things I ain't like about Like I ain't never really liked Vinny Serrato. Mel Bratton is who bought me in, right? You know what I'm saying?
Brett
And I
Mel, that was my
and I
guy.
remember when they cut me, and I'm getting ready. Mel Bratton like, man, what you doing? I said, man, this mother took me to Vinny office. He cussing Vinny out. And this is when that cut they eat, man, that shit hurt hard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey
you don't
man,
want to be
I'm
like, I'm
still
glad
hurt.
Mel standing up for me. But
Right.
at the same time, I'm like, man, if you keep have me out here, I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm about
Hey,
to,
boom, boom. That was our 25th year anniversary this year, man. This is 2025. We was class of 2000,
pass the
and
2000.
and, and I'm still hurt.
Hey, listen, who you telling? Hey, listen, that's what made me finally. I never was no real big Tom Brady fan, right? But maybe his last year or two in the league, I just had to sit down and say, man, Tom Brady class of 2000. And I was sitting in a cigar bar one day, man, with my feet hurting and my knees and like struggling to get up
That's
out the
real.
chair. And I'm like, and this nigga's playing a
It's
football
still
game
playing
tonight.
football,
He
right?
playing a football game tonight. We 42 years old, man. I got
And
nothing but love for this dude now.
look, and then Twin. I told y'all he didn't get drafted, but he went to New England as a free agent. So him and Tom came in there together.
Together, rookies together.
Crazy.
Man,
Hmm.
that's a great. Them times was great, but man, when I tell you, when Mel had me in Vinny office, man, it took everything in me, man, not to be like, man, why you kept me?
I ain't got
I wasn't
nowhere
no,
to go.
I wasn't no Vinny Serrano fan after that. But then, one thing I did, although they paid me for 3 extra weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like I just kept getting checks until
Hey,
damn
look.
near, and I was
Hey,
like, man, why I keep getting this? I'm like, I get it, I'm gonna spend it.
facts. And see, Poom, how they smoothed me over was they told me they was gonna bring me back. They just told me that, hey, we gonna send you home for a few weeks, set you up, with your physical therapy, get right, and then we're gonna bring you back, at the end of training camp and throw you on the practice squad. So that's why, I was kind of chilling. I wasn't really like, oh, because they had told me that. You know what I'm saying? But then it didn't bring me back when they told me they didn't end up bringing me back to the end of the season. And then they sent me to NFL Europe. So it was a whole, man. I knew then that it was a cutthroat league, and
Cutthroat
and,
league, man.
and that you couldn't believe everything that you heard. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not, man.
Yeah. And before we move on to something else, we had so many stories about Daniel Snyder and the Washington organization, all negative things. What was your experience like? What's your opinion of that organization and Daniel Snyder when you was there?
Well, like Poom said, man, I spent most of my time, man, when I had to go upstairs, man, I spent most of my time with Bratton, man, with Mel B, who was he was the director of player personnel at the time. Man, I didn't really trust the coaches a lot. I mean, I trusted Coach Rubisky, but I didn't really mix and mingle with a lot of the other coaches and some of the higher ups because y'all know that when you hurt, they ain't talking to you a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it was all, cool, daps and all that, when I was, scoring, going deep with Jeff and all, but when I tore that hamstring, I was in that training room. Now those smiles turned into frowns, and they wasn't showing me love, and you know what I'm saying, wasn't looking at you the same because they were just like, oh, whatever, man, he ain't doing nothing for us. You know what I'm saying? He in the cold tub, and
Yeah.
so um, I had to learn how to deal with that, man, and that was mentally, very very challenging and frustrating. And so I just remember, man, my days there in practice. I remember the helicopter and Dan Snyder getting out in the suits, but my biggest flex was when prime time Deion Sanders walked in the building. That's when we had signed him for that year. And man, I'll never forget, man, when he walked in the locker room, man, I just froze up, man. My eyes got big, and I'm like, man. And at the time, it seemed like everybody else was out in practice or something, and he was just coming in and was trying to get ready, and I, was coming out of the getting my therapy and icing my hammy. So I caught him when it was just me and him. So I said, all right, cool. I ain't got all these niggas in here, you know what I'm saying? All these players in here that's gonna be looking if I approach him and go up to him and, spike him and shake his hand. And, just me and Prime, man. And it was just me and him, man. And I was able to go up to him, man, and say, hey, Prime, man, it's just a blessing and a privilege, man, to see you as my idol here, man, in the same locker room with me, man. And I just want to, man, just, man, and just give you a big pound, man. And he hugged me, man, and told me, man, it's nice to meet you, young blood, and you know what I'm saying, get yourself healthy, man, and all that. And we was able to talk for a few minutes, man. But just watching him out on the practice field every day, man, just his whole swag, man, and that's when they just had started allowing the fans to come to the practices. And man, I would just watch Prime and how he moved every day, man, and how he dressed, man, and watching my man Champ, go to work and end up being one of the all-time greatest. Man, I never got to go against Champ in practice, but that wasn't well, that was by design because I didn't want to see Champ at the time. Hey, I used to be like, hey man, let me get one of these other guys, man. I
Man,
gotta get right first, man.
Chad was a bad boy. I always got this one thing about Dion, man. Remember we had rookie camp, right? So Dion came in, and rookie camp, it was, all the rookies, and we had like Jeff George, all of the quarterbacks was there, and some, but not the Dion, Daryl Green. They ain't come in doing rookie camp. But we practicing, and the whole practice, Dion was over on the turf field, man, running 110s. Like, and he getting it. Like, he getting it. He getting it in, and he, take a, little break. But I just remember that whole time. Like, I'm just watching him. I'm kind of like distracted from practice because I'm watching. I'm like, man, this nigga is in like an hour, and he's still running these 110s. Like, and it was just like, and I'm like, I'm coming from college, we used to run 16 110s. I'm like, man, 16 110s take you like 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Because we got like 19 seconds to make it. We got
man.
40, and I'm like, he's been over there running for like 50 minutes, an hour. Like, he got to be at about 35 or 40 by now. And he ran the whole time. Like, even after we broke, he was still over there just running 110s. And I was like, man. And it was just, then after he finished, he was on ball drills and just doing, I was like, man, it was just unbelievable to me. And then I just said, all that makes sense. Like, it makes sense. And I had my chance to have a conversation with him was, later on. And I was like, just asking, like, man, that shit was impressive. And Dion was like, look, man, anytime somebody throw the ball at me, you got 70,000 people in the stadium and millions in the home expecting me to get an interception and take it to the house every single time. Right. And he was like, and if I give up a catch or two or three, I done got my ass bust. He's like, I got to work this hard. I got to work this hard just to beat Dion. I said, man, that's just crazy.
He worked, man, and Champ worked, and I can't forget about the legendary Darryl Green.
D. Green.
D. Green took me, kind of took me under his wing and, showed me the ropes and helped me out too, man. So shout out to D. Green. I seen him a few months back at a Super Bowl here in New Orleans, man, at the NFLPA party, Pone. And got a chance to chop it up with him, took a picture with him and everything, man. He remembered me, man. So that was a beautiful thing.
Hey, yeah. Darryl Green was just here 2 weeks ago running a Broad Run High School, still training.
Man, he looked great.
He do.
And I seen him. He was 39, 40 years old at the time. Yeah. And I seen him with my own eyes run a 4.29.
Yeah.
I saw him beat when he raced Champ and Champ and maybe AC and he beat everybody. He was still the fastest person on the team, man, at 40 years old, man, which is crazy.
That's a fact.
That's
Still
crazy.
working. Still working.
Yeah.
Hmm. So E, when did you know that you were ready to hang up the cleats and start the next chapter of your life?
Man, so the following year, went to NFL Europe, played for Amsterdam, man. Hurt my hamstring again, man.
Hey, shout out to Amsterdam. Good
Yes,
grace.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, man, tore my hamstring again, man. And then I knew then I'm like, man, I can't continue to go this route, man. I'm getting injured. Then my girlfriend at the time called me during that season, in training camp, getting ready to go over there. She called me and told me she was pregnant with my son, and so I had all of that going on. I'm hurt, and I just got to the point where I'm like, man, I gotta start thinking about life after football, man. And so, of course, when I got hurt, I got cut again, and then that was just, I said to myself, man, that was gonna be the last time, man. And I knew that I had to go and get right, man, and use that degree, man, and start working. So I started coaching, and at a high school, I moved out to Arizona, to Phoenix, and started coaching, man, and teaching, man. I knew I wanted to coach after football and give back and still be around the sport, and so that's what I did.
Damn, that's what's up. And them hamstring injuries ain't no joke. That's what pretty much ended my career. I had a partially torn hamstring, but I had a torn abdominal muscle at the same damn time.
Damn,
Yeah,
damn,
and the
damn,
only
bro.
reason why I played on the hamstring, it was partially torn. The doctor said, "Bruh, you need to shut it down." But we was about to go to
Ethan,
the playoffs.
Ethan,
I was in Argentina at the time.
he was in Argentina and he went to a Puff Daddy freak off in Buenos Aires.
There you go. There you go.
Look at he
That's the
had a torn
story.
ham, his hamstring.
Hey man, using too many of them hamstring and them buttocks muscles, man.
Hey,
Oh
hey,
man,
hey,
dude
bro,
was on
you getting
fire.
out of hand right now, bro. What the? Hey,
Boom.
hey, man.
From 0 to
Hey,
60.
15 yards on both of them niggas.
Hey, baby, what you call me, baby? Lefty, lefty.
Hey, I fucked my hamstring up because I slipped on Pumi's baby oil. That nigga, that motherfucker left on the floor.
Hey, that baby all to do it to you, man. You gotta can't get caught slipping, dog. Y'all boys crazy,
Yeah,
man.
terrible.
So, E, why don't you tell the viewers and listeners what you're doing now, man? Because I know you got an awesome company with an awesome product. Let our people know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, man. So name of my company is MITZ, man. MITTZ, man. I started this company, man, about 4 years ago, man. I created and designed a football training glove for offensive linemen and defensive backs. So it's a training glove that helps prevent you from grabbing and holding and getting those holding and pass interference calls. I got a couple pair with me right now.
Oh, that's dope.
Georgia got them. USC got them.
And send them things out to South Bend.
Oregon, Texas A&M. Just to name a few. So we got my logo at the bottom, and I put the logo of each school. So I do, man. Just try. All I do is travel around the country, man, and present my product to all colleges and high schools, man, and live
What
like
is
that.
it about the gloves that prevents you from holding?
Let me take one out the pack real quick.
I know. If O was on, he would definitely speak on it because every time we used to do training, man, he'd be on. Okay, stop holding. Get your
So
stop a
it's
whole
it's
training.
it's it's shaped like a mitt.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called mitts. You slide your hand in them. It fits like this. you can't grab and hold because you don't have your fingers to grab and hold.
That's dope.
I thought of it, man. It just came to me one night in a dream, bro. And I sat on it for a while. I sat on it for like a year, man. And then finally, I just said, man, let me press go on this thing, man, and try to get. Big Tail, what's up,
Big
baby?
Bud.
What's up, big dog?
I'm
Good to
chilling,
see you.
dog. Over here, this nigga screaming at the top of his lungs, trying to figure out why he's screaming. Oh, young Dirk Diggler. What's up?
What's up, man?
Boogie Nights. That's what I'm about to start calling
Now
you. Boogie
Boogie
Nights.
Nights.
Boogie
Hey,
night.
I see Diddy and Russell Simmons over there.
Whoa.
He done threw,
What's
he
up?
done threw
Son on
Russell
the other
Simmons
side
in
of the screen. My son on the other side of the screen. That's easy.
he done threw Russell Simmons in that junk, Paul.
I'm about to go up there and do my yoga.
They gonna
Hey,
Hey,
put
you
Milk.
Russ
coming
on
out.
the
Good
stand.
Hey,
night.
Milk, just so you know, we not lying about Kobe. Just say everybody that comes, you see
Man,
everybody throwing
when he
us.
said Dirk Diggler, I'm like, Lord, have mercy. Straight to Boogie Nights.
This is straight to Boogie Nights. Man, listen, Mr. Gatorade himself.
Hey, hold up. We got they they doing too much.
Yeah, let's stay focused, man. Let's stay focused, man. Let's get back to these
Man,
Knicks, man.
they out there making statements like Lil Woody.
That's crazy.
Hey, Poem, we got to talk about that, man. We got to talk about that later, man.
Hey, man, no question.
Hey, Edu, do you take like do you like keep stats or data in terms of like the schools you send the miss to and kind of track like let's say in 2024 they had this amount of holding penalties and then 2025 it decreased after they got dismissed. Do you keep that type of data?
Man, I did a lot of that in my first year, Cole, to be honest. I was keeping up with the schools and finding out who were the most schools that was getting the most penalties. I even did it in the NFL. Last year was the Houston Texans. But as I, as I started to, the business started to build and I didn't have to do so much work on that end, it just turned into, because now I get calls out of the blue. I don't have to go to some of these schools and present or do Zoom calls. Um, they know I'm at Ohio State. That's the national champion. So these schools, they want to know what these other teams that's the cream of the crop, that's what they're doing. That's what we need to do. So I get a lot of love in business, man, just off a word of mouth. You find out Ohio State is using them. They find out that Clemson is using them. They find out that Colorado is using them. And then now here we go. You know what I'm saying? We off to the races. So,
Yeah.
my biggest challenge is keeping the product here because my manufacturer is overseas in China. It's not getting made here. So now I got to deal with all this politics stuff with these tariffs
With the tariffs, yeah.
and all that. That's my biggest challenge right now. Like if I had them where I could get them here in the States, and my business would really be booming. But I got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a one man gang. I'm trying to keep everybody else out of the midst, business, and so I could, continue to profit and
Mhm.
thrive. But eventually, my goal is to partner with one of these bigger brands, Nike or Under Armour, Adidas, or someone, to just partner with me. And, you can add your logo or, even dismiss my logo if you like, if the money
Mhm.
right, and we go
Mhm.
from there because I'm in all these big schools. I'm in 7 SEC schools. I got
Nice.
I'm at
Yeah.
the LSU. I'm at the Florida. Uh, the A&M. I'm at a lot of these schools, but like I said, my problem is getting the product here and keeping it here to where I'm able to just disperse it out whenever needed.
It's
So when you
definitely a
want to meet
dope
with these
product.
schools, you meet with the coaches or the equipment managers?
Both. So a lot of times, if I get a call from the coach, then they have to transfer me over to the equipment, the director of equipment, and the managers. And the managers, the director of the equipment guys, they're not going to order unless the coaches give them, the,
Okay.
the approval. And then sometimes if the equipment guys see them, they have to go to the coaches and make sure that the coaches want the product. So they both work together, but I eventually end up working with both of them.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So look, before we get out of here, we got a segment of the show called Rapid Fire. So
Okay.
Poom and Coach Milton, I hope you got some questions ready for E. So E, basically, we're gonna ask you some questions, and you gotta answer them as quick as possible. We're gonna try to make the questions tough, where you don't really want to make a decision or make a choice, but
Yeah.
I think you'll breeze through it. So without
Okay. Let's
further
go.
ado, yeah, let's get it cracking. So I'll warm you up with an easy one. This question is: you're gonna start, bench, or cut? You got Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Who you starting? Who you benching? Who you cutting?
I'm starting Jordan. I'm benching Kobe, and I'm cutting LeBron.
God damn, man. Hey,
Hey
look, this is
man,
the first time we ever did this to.
he already told you he ain't go to.
Hey, look. Hey, look.
he, already, he already told you he ain't go to
Hey,
class
look,
at Oklahoma
he
State,
made
man.
history with that one, man. I had to
That's the
remove the
first
cut.
time he did.
Well, I came up in the MJ era.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
you
get
you
it.
you know MJ.
He don't he
MJ.
don't care. He do not care.
MJ is the GOAT. Now you asked me my personal opinion. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, or I'm not
I
not
know, I
knocking the
know.
judge,
I just
but
didn't like your
M,
personal opinion.
I get it. I get it. But MJ gotta be the GOAT, man. And then Kobe, Kobe is just my guy. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I get it.
I got the Mamba tatted right there. You heard me? So I'm a Kobe guy. So
Yeah,
that leaves LeBron.
Hey,
yeah.
Lakers in 5.
And look, I'm a Laker fan.
Hey,
I'm,
hey, look.
the
People, people
Lakers,
think,
the
people think
Lakers is my squad. That's my all-time favorite squad. So
yeah,
that was a hard question, but it was easy.
right, right. And it's crazy. People be thinking I be hating on Jordan, but I was the biggest Jordan fan of all time up until I don't know, sometime some in the early 2000s when I started to, once you get to playing basketball, you get to know basketball, you see stuff a different way.
Right.
Your opinions change. But, I used to live in Gary, Indiana, which is right outside of Chicago. So my first basketball game I ever went to was Jordan's rookie year versus Dr. J. My father took me to it. I
Wow.
had Jordan posters on one side of the wall, Michael Jackson posters on the other side of the wall. And my birthday is the same day as Jordan's birthday. So I was a
Wow.
Jordan fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? So, it takes a lot for me to say I think somebody else is the GOAT over Jordan. I'm not hating,
Wow.
I just changed my opinion over the years.
Hey, he a goat. He a goat.
Yeah.
LeBron is a goat. Yeah, he's a goat.
Hey,
The
Hey,
goat.
listen, man. You know what that's called, Kobe. That's called, maturation. Everybody else, they just stuck in cognitive dissonance, man. You know what I'm saying? They refuse to, to move on, and it's okay, man. But life, like everything, moves on, man. It all evolves, man. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, we can get into another conversation on that another time. I do think that LeBron, with his longevity, and and what he's done. I think that he is the all-time greatest basketball player of all time. But Jordan and Kobe are my number one and number two most favorite.
Yeah, respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
respect.
That's fair.
Yeah, y'all. What y'all got? Y'all got a rapid fire question for E?
I got one for you. If you had to build a receiver, whose physique, whose hands, whose speed, and whose route running would you put together to build your ultimate receiver?
Good
And
question.
then part two, what DB could cover him?
What DB could cover?
Once you put your ultimate receiver together, which DB would you put on the field to try to cover him?
Well, I can answer that one off top. Off top, it's gonna be Prime.
Regardless, no matter.
No matter who I build, it's gonna be Prime as a
So
DB to cover.
put together your ultimate receiver. Whose
I'm a,
physique would you have?
I'm gonna take Calvin Johnson for Zeke.
Hands,
I'm gonna take Jerry Rice hand.
speed.
I'm gonna take Tyreek Hill speed, and I got to throw T.O. in there some sort of way.
Okay. So route running will be T.O. You put T.O. with your route running, or just
I gotta
Definitely
squeeze him in
gonna
there.
be hands.
I just gotta squeeze him in there somewhere. But
gotcha. 100%
uh,
respect that.
he wouldn't be my route runner would be Jerry too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. I
Yeah.
ain't mad at that.
What
That's
you
dope.
got, Poe?
You got a all time. You building a on 11 personnel, Oklahoma State. Who you got running the X?
Justin Blackman,
Who you putting at the Z?
Dez Bryant.
And who getting that last spot at the H?
I gotta put myself in there, man,
Damn right.
because I mean
Take the
I'm dead
top off. Take the top
I'm
off.
dead ass. I'm dead ass because I could I could do a lot in the slot or I could work outside. I only dropped one pass my whole career at Oklahoma State. I'm just saying, man. I didn't have the opportunities in the spread offense with 3 or 4 wide receivers. I didn't have a all Big 12 quarterback. I didn't have an offense coordinator that's throwing it 50, 60 times a game. The most that we ever threw the ball was 25 times in my day. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, Shell, yeah, salute.
Hey, listen, I'm taking myself too on any
And
team.
I ran 4.34 and I had a 40-inch vertical.
Hey, listen, I'm okay because I'm taking myself on any team I've ever played on. You ask me who, and man, you got to move one of them hogs out the way. But you was only in training
Yeah,
camp. That's I can do
yeah,
it.
man.
I just
Yeah,
ain't get
man.
up. I'm
Yeah,
always gonna
man.
take myself.
Yeah, man. Put me in them other times, man, with the other opportunities, man. And I think I'm there. You heard me? For real. Yeah. And look, I'm on water.
Pull me,
I
hey,
ain't on
pull
no
me,
yak. I ain't
Diddy
on
or R. Kelly. No, fucking no, that's not a real question. I'm just bullshit. That's not a that's not a real question. That's not a
Hey,
real question.
hey, look, hey,
Hey,
say what
No,
damn.
back
say,
to the
say,
receivers
Hey,
say
though.
what you
Back to
want, but in 2005, that'd have been a hell of a party. You'd have been there. And Kobe would have been like, "Yeah,
ooh.
that would have been a hell of a
Hey,
party."
so look,
hey, look. All of us was at some of them Diddy
All of
parties
us.
in
Hey, listen,
DC
that's why I tell people that I say,
at Republic Garden.
look, I said, everybody talk about the puff party. I said, that's just because you ain't never go. I said, if you win, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that was a different time, baby. Great times.
so
Hey,
E, start bench or cut. Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson.
ooh, ooh. I'm starting Randy. I'm benching Calvin, and I'm cutting Jerry, man.
Wow. Okay. That's probably what I would do too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, that was a great question, though. That was pretty hard.
Yeah. Um,
That's wild.
I'm gonna name three names, and you got to give me a one-word answer to describe this person or thing. Bob Simmons.
Dick.
Hey, that's what I
No,
said about my coach. I might
With
say
hey,
something else, but it
with
was
with
it's the
with
same
no
line.
with no hesitation.
no did it. No did it.
Yeah.
Straight up, man.
Arizona.
Amazing.
Gatorade.
Amazing. That's why I'm going in the morning.
I already know. That's why you drinking that water.
I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna need an IV in a few days.
Speaking of, so this is my last name. Omar Old Dog Evans.
Crazy.
Boy, if I had $100 for every time somebody said that, hey, we have our own eyes
Hey, look, we all got our own stories, man.
for sure.
But look, I don't know if he told y'all this story, and I'm gonna make it real quick.
All right.
This when I knew O was just in the head. I know he told y'all about that time, man, that the cat drew the pistol on us in old time Scottsdale.
That was just recent. That was recent. E.
It's been a couple years.
I mean, it's been a couple before. Oh, that's a recent story.
Well, I don't know what I hadn't heard. This was the one I was there personally to see. So when the guy pulled up with the strap, pointed it at the gun, I'm thinking I'm in the Boys in the Hood movie. When he pulled the strap, and O just sitting there,
Chill.
man, what you gonna do with that? And I done stepped in front of O like, oh, man, chill out, bro. Bro, it's good, bro. You know, he just drunk, a little tipsy, man. It's good, bro. We ain't tripping, man. Y'all good, man. Have a good night, man. We good, man. We gonna keep it moving, man. We don't want no smoke. Oh, grabs my arm and pushes me out the way. Man, get out the way, man. No, I just asked you a question, man. I don't know what he talking about. I asked you a question, man. What you gonna do with that?
Don't speak for me.
Yeah, you ain't speaking for me. What you gonna do with that? And I looked at O like, oh, this nigga is crazy. So soon as he said that, the boy cocked it. And O still there looking, talking. Next thing you know, from where I'm from, you run. If you ain't got no peace, okay, bro, I've tried to sit here and kind of diffuse the situation, but now that you showing me that you ready to die, phew, I'm out. I was across the street. I was across the street before you knew it. And when I turned my head, the car had drove off. So I don't know if I scared them because we had some Brand and all her friends was with us. Look, when I ran, they ran.
Hey.
Oh, is the only one still there standing there talking.
Hey, he counting. That's all I know. He counting.
I say, yeah,
He
my
counting.
boy, really crazy like that. So
Big facts. I remember. Listen, he called me from the car. I was like, I said, man,
Hey,
You're a wild turkey, man.
I live to see another day. That's all I knew, man. Look, I'm trying to go home and see my kids, man. You feel me? Oh, shit. Man, you over here on this dumb shit, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm talking about it was like point blank range, like
No,
2, 3
flinch.
feet.
No
Yeah.
flinch, brother. No
Man,
flinch.
we dead.
Right.
No, sir. Crazy. I love him
Yeah.
to death. That's my dog. But hey, he showed me that night. And we done been in some scuffles and stuff before with cats and all that. He know I'm down. But man, when it come to that, looking at that barrel, I don't want no parts of that, man. No parts.
Man. Shout out to Cuzzo.
I'm gonna see him tomorrow.
Respect
We're gonna
and
laugh
honor.
and talk about it. We're gonna toast and talk about it some more and laugh.
Yeah.
Respect and honor, no question.
All right, E, you got 5 possessions. You versus. So I'm gonna pick somebody else who family to the show. Our big bro, Sean Springs. You got 5 possessions versus Sean Springs. How many passes you catch?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say maybe I'm gonna say half. I'm gonna say half.
So you're going with 2 or 3 because you gotta go with one of the other. You can't do 2.5. So 3, that means you got the
In
best.
his
Two.
in his prime and in my prime, I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna be honest.
If you said 3, he would have popped up on the show.
Oh, I already
He'd be on
know.
the show.
I already know. I already know.
He'd be already
Look,
here.
and when I see him, he might even say, "Hey, you ain't catching too."
Hey, that sound like him, man. Sean different, man. He different.
No doubt. But Sean a legend, man. Sean was a great though. Real
Yeah.
talk.
So
Yeah.
so this is my last rapid fire question for you. One-on-one basketball. Who winning? Game to 11. You or Twin?
I think I'm gonna get Twin. I think I'm gonna get Twin. We done played many a games, many a game. But I think I'm gonna get him. I think I'm gonna get him.
Hey, Twin,
Yeah.
pull up. Hey, pull up if you think different, Twin.
Especially now. See, I still hoop from time to time. Twin ain't in the Twin don't want he ain't in that court. He tore his Achilles some years ago, so nah.
Yeah, he don't want nothing close to it now.
Nah.
Hey, Poom, when he first came on the show today, he was saying his first love was basketball. He wanted to go to Duke for basketball. I said, you football niggas always come on the show talk about basketball and shit, man. I'm tired of this shit. Like Poom, he talking about, I was a basketball player too. I played for DC Assault.
Hey,
He
No,
said
oh,
he
sorry.
was a point
Hey,
guard.
listen. I'm gonna say
hey.
this before I go. I know I said Duke, but my number one all-time favorite team is Georgetown. Warriors. Back
That's
in the
right.
day.
Hey, Ethan, he mad because I told him, yeah, I could get anybody 8. I was gonna give anybody 8 when I'm playing basketball. I don't care who it was.
Hey,
Huh?
Poom, if we play 1-on-1 to 16, you have 0.
You
Guaranteed.
tripping.
0.
Now,
And you know
but
that's
back
how I
then,
used to. When I was a youngin', you know that's how I used to get lunch. I used to spot motherfuckers. Like we go to 16, I give them
no,
14, 13, 12.
you'd have lost
Boom.
every time you
Knock
gave
them
me
out, get my
13.
bread, go to
You
McDonald's.
lost every time you gave me 13.
Nah, that's what I do.
I'd
1-on-1.
have put
That's
this
my thing.
I'd have put this shoulder right through your chest. Bang. This
First
basketball,
of
listen,
all,
man.
you wouldn't have got the ball, bro. Once I get the ball, you ain't no seeing the ball.
I got ball
It's
first.
over.
Talking about.
It's done.
Once you let me shoot for it, I got ball first. Once I get ball first, slim. That basketball knees wasn't physical enough.
You going straight to the paint, huh? Paul?
I'm gonna put them right under the basket.
Ain't gonna miss the layup.
Cobb,
Never.
I heard you. Cobb,
I said I'd give
you was
anybody
nice
8.
like that, bro. Hey, 8 is a lot of buckets. But Cobb, I heard you was nice, man. So I ain't even gonna contest that, man.
Hey, Poom, no.
Hey, Cole.
He's faking right now.
Hey,
Poom,
Cole.
no.
I'm surprised you let him go with the little shot motion in the back. I'm surprised you let that go.
Hey, look, sometimes, hey, look,
It looked good too.
sometimes you gotta give somebody a little semblance of hope. You know
It
what I
Hey,
mean?
looked good too.
hey, man, I'm just telling you what happened, dog. No way. Ain't no way.
Hey, look,
16 nothing?
look, we DMV. I'm from the Virginia side. I used to come over the bridge, right? Light niggas up. They talking about, oh man, you from Virginia? I didn't know you from Virginia. Yeah,
Like
Hey,
that.
straight like that.
he used to be hooping up at Georgetown, man. You ain't never catch Kobe, man. You ain't catch him in the streets with the E on the end. You know what I'm saying? You ain't catch him
Man,
in
look,
Northeast,
I led,
Southeast, man.
look,
He was over in
look,
Georgetown.
one year I led the Urban Coalition in scoring when it was still at Dunbar.
Right off 395. You feel what I'm saying, Milton? You know what I'm saying? He come in 5 minutes and he right back in Virginia.
Nah, now that's cap because anybody who know my pops, Carl Turner, the way I learned how to play, I don't give a damn what neighborhood it was. We driving down the street, he see somebody in the court, he stopping the car. We in the middle of a war zone. He walk you out to the court like, who want to play my son one-on-one? I'm
That
like,
sound like
nah,
that
man,
sound
you
like
get
Bennett
this fucking
Avenue.
car.
That
Nah,
sound like
get
you
your
over
ass
Bennett
out. You
Avenue.
playing, you about to go play one-on-one. That's how I learned how to play. That's how I learned. That's how I met a lot of the district cats that was big time ballers. By doing that, I used to pull up shorty.
Captain Cope, this is the No Cap Sports Show. So
Yeah, and that's
I
why
I
it ain't no cap.
I know it's coming. You coming gutter with it. Hey, you been in the trenches. Sound like you been in the trenches.
Hey,
Man, hey, easy, man. Yeah, you know what Northern Virginia is, easy. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what Northern Virginia is,
Hey,
man.
look,
Let's go.
hey E. Anytime
I
we
gotta
played
take
a
my man to word.
city school, a DCIA school, we beat them by 30. We've never lost to a district school. They
Who did
was
y'all play?
horrible. They
Who?
had
TC Williams?
one good team, and the rest was awful,
Who?
Trash.
trash.
I don't know where. Hey, look, I don't know what school he went to, but while we was in high school,
Wilson was trash.
y'all would not have beat Dunbar.
Nigga, y'all
Y'all,
lost to St. Stevens. What the fuck?
I don't remember that.
Hey,
I don't remember.
them niggas lost to St. Stevens, E. Shout
I
out to
don't
my
remember that.
brother O. Uh, hey, my brother O gave them 40, 10, and 9.
Wow.
I don't remember that either. I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
you
Like that's
remember?
somebody got to show me a box score or something, man. Where the book at? Where
Man,
the book at?
look, Dunbar wasn't even the best team in the DCIA when I came out.
Who?
McKinley Tech
I was
was.
gonna say McKinley.
Nah, they wasn't the best. Dunbar was still a
McKinley
better
Tech
team.
won the DCIA. They went to the
They
city
they
title.
won it. They won it because they beat Dunbar in one game, but Dunbar had a better team than Tech. All Tech had was Vic. That's all Tech had.
That's all Tech needed was Vic. What are you
All,
talking
all
about?
Tech had was Vic.
Victor Page was a bad boy.
Man, I was
Yeah.
just watching a special on him the other day. He got the patch. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
Yeah.
Georgetown.
shout out to
The
Vic,
hard.
man. Love you, bro.
He got a whole lot more than the patch right now. You know what I'm saying? That's my bad. But we see Vic in about what 7 to 8 years.
Yeah, but
He
yeah,
got like
he on
7, 8 summers left.
Damn, he went back to the joint?
Yeah, he back in.
yeah.
Damn.
But shout out to him. He's a fan of the No Cap Show. He gave us big props. I got to talk to him, some months back, and he, congratulated us on a great show, and all that. So man, shout out to him, man. Salute to the bro Vic, man. We
That's
went
my man. No question about it.
he sent y'all the Clippers. Me and Vic won a national title together in AAU.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Damn,
Executive
Cole, that's
3, the
big
greatest
time.
AAU team ever.
Damn, that's big time right there, family. I ain't know that. I'm learning, man. I'm glad to be here, man, and just chopping it up with y'all.
That's only because they was a year ahead of us, man. You know what I'm saying? They was a year ahead of us. You know what I'm saying?
He wanted to catch that smoke. He ain't want to catch that smoke. He ain't want to catch that smoke.
Hey, look, see, hey, we gonna continue this conversation in Scottsdale somewhere, smoking a hookah
No
Let it
doubt.
go.
and sipping on bourbon.
Hey,
Exactly.
game 2 Thursday, Kobe.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right. All right,
Kobe,
look. So look,
I like that McDonald's All American jersey up there, man. I see it.
hey, you get free Big Macs for the rest of your life.
Salute. Salute, bro. Salute.
Yeah, boy, it's
I
crazy,
enjoyed
man.
it, man. I enjoyed this, man. I enjoyed this, man.
Straight up. Hey, E, before we get out of here, anything that you want to tell the viewers and listeners or some youngin that's watching the show that say, man, I want to follow the same path as E and go through the ranks and get to the pinnacle. Anything, any jewels you want to drop on them?
Yeah, man. God first and foremost, man. Over everything, man. God first and foremost, man. Over everything. Um, stay tight, man, and stay connected with your family, man, and friends, and have good people in your circle, man. That has the same drive and the same goals and aspirations as you do. Put in the work, man. Put in the work, man. If you don't work, you don't eat, man. And you just got to be able to outwork, your opponent, man, and be ready for the challenge, man. Um, those are the most important things, man. Um, and then, if if sports doesn't work out for you, man, um, get your degree, man. Go to school, man. Get your education, because it's life after football, man. It's life after basketball. We all can connect. Um, we all had careers, but we had short careers, and you don't understand and look at it like that when you're younger. You thinking that things are gonna work out exactly the way like you plan and like you visualize them, but when that don't happen, man, you gotta be prepared for life after football, man. I didn't realize that the NFL stood for not for long until it was too late. I'm there one day, boom, no, he's there one day, and the next day, you turning in your playbook and looking around, looking crazy, like, man, what the hell happened? And when that happens, man, you got to be prepared for life after football, man. And back then it wasn't a big uh, discussion talking about mentally challenge and mental illness. Man, it wasn't none of that, man. It was like, man, you suck that up. Hey, sports over, man. Hey, you better get ready to, go get a job or do something else, man. It wasn't no mental, time and mental lapse, man, where people caring about you because you've been used to playing sports your whole life, and now you got to find another way, to make it in life, And so, man, those are the biggest things, man, that I want, a young cat to take with him, man, is God first. Stay connected to your family. Keep a tight, close circle of friends, and be ready to go to work, man, and be prepared for life after ball, man. Because life after ball, you really spending more of your life outside of sports than you are playing sports. And you just got to set yourself up, man, to be able to do something else after sports is over with, man, so you could still live good and live comfortably.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that's definitely some jewels for the people. Look, E, we definitely appreciate you pulling up on us, man, and doing this
Yeah.
interview. You already know you found. You welcome back to the No Cap Show anytime you want, whether you a guest or you want to just you know, talk shit with the crew, whatever
No
you want
doubt.
to do. You already know the world is yours, and we definitely embrace you. Can't wait to link up with you again, man. preferably in Scottsdale somewhere.
Yeah,
You know, but you already know you our main man.
no doubt, man. I love y'all boys, man, and it's been real, man. Talking, we've hung out plenty of times before, and I've learned a lot about y'all tonight that I didn't know, and y'all learned a lot about me, man. So I appreciate it. Milk, hey man, it's been real, man. Talking to you, we got the opportunity to
Indeed.
talk, before the other guys came on, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
it was all love, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Indeed, man. Again, congratulations, man, and continued success with you. And when you see O, give him a hug from us, man.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
No
Yes,
doubt.
sir. To the viewers and listeners, thank you for continuing to rock with the No Cap Sports Show podcast. Keep supporting us. We're gonna keep bringing you that heat. Keep having those fire guests like Ethan today. You know what I'm saying? Tune in next week, next Wednesday, same time, same channel. We'll be here. You know the moniker. Respect and honor. And
It's too much light. I'm back in the car next week, man. I'm back to the car next week. It's too much light in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm
now
back
we
with
need
my
to see you,
G14
man.
classified.
We need to see you. Hey, viewers and listeners, salute.
No Cap Sports Show, where sports and combos collide.